Introducing the NordBench Pro, a 9-in-1 home workout trainer that's going to transform the way you train at home forever. In this video, I'm going to show exactly how you can use it, all 9 key machines that it replaces, plus the over 40 plus movements that you can do with it. In addition to that, I'm going to show you the customer feedback that led to this development. And I'm also going to highlight some of the specs and details that we've gotten comments about that matter to you guys. And in the end, I'm going to show you a list of some questions that I've got from early feedback and answer them all so that you have an informed decision about this product. So let's get started. One thing you're going to notice off the start is this new H-shaped pad. We filled in this gap thanks to feedback from Alan in Colorado to make it more comfortable for you. But we didn't stop there. We made this pad 3 inches thick so it's ultra comfortable and added this curve to make it so that you can do GHRs off of the NordBench. Rolling it down, you'll see it's compact NordBench. The original NordBench is 34 inches long, so it's ideal for somebody who's more space sensitive, who wants a compact, affordable unit that has 5-in-1 functionality. But if you want truly the best, the NordBench Pro is for you. It's 44 inches in length in its shortest condensed form, and then it expands out to be 59 inches long. One key thing that we updated with this design based on feedback is that a front adjustment. You'll see how smooth it was for me to adjust to full length. I can do it in seconds. We also added a magnet here that keeps it locked together when you're wheeling it around. Let's get started talking about the functionality. So the biggest upgrade, in my opinion, that I'm most excited about is the new dip handles. The dip handles come off the front and allow you to perform dips from the comfort of your home. Now this is a rock solid setup. We've tested it by dropping over 550 pounds on top of it just to make sure it was safe, and we let it sit on there for over 24 hours. But that wasn't enough. We then put 1,250 pounds on top of it just to make sure it was able to earn a 500-pound rating and get that commercial grade status. To do this, we really had to beef up the center column. The center column is now 4.75 millimeters thick or 7-gauge steel, which typically for commercial grade equipment, the lower the number, the thicker the steel. We wanted it to be robust and be able to handle you as you get stronger. Just to highlight that, I weigh 200 pounds and I'm gonna show you myself doing a dip with 50 pounds between my knees, so 250 total pounds, and you'll see this thing does not even budge. The dip feature didn't happen overnight though. It took rigorous testing. I took over 4 different variations of this product with different pin placements, and I did 2,500 dips on each, just to make sure that over time it wouldn't warp or change function. What I realized is we needed a thicker dip handle so it was more comfortable in your hands, and then we added a textured grip on top so you didn't slip as you were doing higher reps. So that's the dip functionality. Next thing I want to talk about is this H pad. So if you were doing sit-ups on the NordBench with a gap, it's still comfortable, but by filling that gap and making this gapless pad, it makes it a lot more comfortable when you're doing sit-ups or even reaching back for core work. In addition to that, when you're doing QL raises, it's going to be a lot more comfortable. You're not going to find yourself having to navigate that gap. And then moving to the bottom part of the pad, you'll see this nice contoured edge, and I'll show you exactly why we did that. Nordic curls are when your knees are on a flat surface like this. If I lower down and I pull up to do a Nordic curl, it's primarily a knee flexion based movement, and it's very challenging. Adding this curved pad, it's gonna make it easier to perform a Nordic curl movement and strengthen my hamstrings and hip extensors. So as I lower down and pull back up, you'll see it's a little bit easier, because once I get to that bottom, my knees are gonna shift down that curve, making it a little bit easier to gain momentum and pull myself back up. Here's a flat GHR, and then a flat Nordic curl. So a flat Nordic curl, I'm not there yet. So you can see the difference in the 2 movements. and how that curve just helps you get momentum at the bottom of the motion and makes it a little bit easier for when you're exercising. So a big upgrade there is this nice, beautiful H pad that increases the functionality of the machine. Speaking of upgraded pads, we also upgraded the solar roller at the end. This was because a lot of people told us they were doing hip thrusts and split squats off the rollers, not the front of the machine. So we filled that gap on the Pro so that you can do hip thrusts and split squats more comfortably off the back. So when I'm doing that, incline it up to here, flip the foot plate down, and then I'll be able to do those movements. If I want to increase the height, I can do that with these 3 levels of adjustment. One little detail I want to highlight is we have these custom patent pending easy pins. I really like these pins because they make adjustment so much easier. You can pull them out of the hole, turn them sideways so they don't rush to lock back in. You can find the level you want and then turn them back into the slot and they'll snap in place. A second detail is we added this steady pin on the side here. This red steady pin is gonna help reduce some of the wobble when you're using the machine and make it a lot more stable. Speaking of stability, I wanna show you the next big feature that we added onto the NordBench. So I'm gonna just put it up into a 45-degree back extension and talk about this U-shaped front base. It adds a lot more stability and reduces the likelihood that it's gonna tip for heavier and more explosive users. Obviously, we still have the loading bar, which you can clip on the back if a heavier or more explosive user is gonna use that. The U-shaped base also increases the ground contact area, increasing the overall stability of this machine and overall durability of it. Now, we're gonna talk about the biggest innovation with the NordBench Pro, the new footplate. So with every NordBench, you can turn the footplate into a functional slant board. This is great for heel raises and slant board squats, but we didn't want to just stop there. With these hidden legs that are discreetly placed underneath the slant board, you can now lock the NordBench in to a 4-inch platform. This is great for movements that I love in the physical therapy world, like lateral step downs, forward step downs. Great for knee strengthening and glute strengthening, but it doesn't stop there. With the new hybrid bar and band system that comes with it, you can transform the footplate to a true full body trainer. So I'm gonna show you how I set it up for a variety of movements. So first, I'm gonna show you bicep curls, upright rows, shoulder press. You can lower it down to slant board mode and do front squats. You can also do frontal raise. There's so many options now. If you double up the bands, you can do deadlifts. Like that. Now, resistance bands can sometimes be hard to understand. It's hard to know which band is heavier or harder than the other. So what we try to do with our band system is color code it very similar to bumper plates. So we have black is the lightest, just like a 10 or a 15 pound bumper plate. Green is next, like a 25 pound bumper plate. And then it goes yellow, blue, red being the thickest. Very challenging for deadlifts. I'll show a side by side just so you can get some context, but I was deadlifting 395 pounds with a barbell and it felt very similar to the red band doubled up. A very good challenge. And for those that say bands don't create enough resistance, they're wrong. These bands create plenty of resistance, but I think it's a little bit better because there's less resistance at the bottom when it's hardest and most injuries occur, and more resistance at the top when you're strongest. The functionality of the footplate doesn't stop there. So if you take the rollers out, you can also perform, and I'm setting this all up on the fly so you can see how little time and effort this takes, but you can put your footplate at a slight angle and perform mid rows like that. You can lock it in place, incline it up, and now let's see if I'm strong enough to do preacher curls. So you get a low row, deadlift, preacher curl, all in addition to everything you just saw when I was standing on top of the foot plate. And when you're done, just snap the legs down. They discreetly fall out of place. You can put the roller back in and you're good to go. So those are the key upgrades to the NordBench Pro. While adding those upgrades in, we did not take away from what makes the NordBench special. You still can do back extensions with it, just now with a more comfortable pad and better accommodating shorter individuals. You can still do Nordic curls with it at 8 levels. And what you see is we added this little handle on the side so it's easier to line up the teeth. We upgraded the look of the 8 and 15 adjuster to stainless steel, so it just looks a little bit more visually appealing. And you still have now 0, 8, 15, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and then dips at 50 degrees so that you get that optimal height. You also could do split squats, slant board squats, sit-ups, hip thrusts, all of those movements that you can see here. And next, I want to talk about how our community shaped the future of home fitness. So I want to talk about some of the developments. I've already mentioned some of these, but I just want to highlight how we used community feedback and over 1,000+ calls with our customers to shape this bench forever. So some of the things that people asked in our post-purchase survey was 87% of people wanted dips to be added on to the NordBench. This took a lot of time, over 12+ prototypes, to make it strong enough and feel good enough that it truly replaces a dip station at home. But this came because of how much metal we added to the design, which is why you don't see this on very many machines. It takes a lot of metal and hardware and thought to engineer something that can handle that stress. This will be able to handle all the stress you put on it and more. The pad is one of my favorite features. This came from multiple comments. One, people wanted it lower so that shorter people could do back extensions. Alan wanted the gap filled so more comfortable for sit-ups. Jen and Melissa said they wanted a curved pad for GHRs to add that into their training. Transforming it to a full body trainer with the hidden legs that transform it into a platform. The hybrid bar and resistance bands that come with it. The magnetic on the bottom, thanks to Joe Gray's feedback, so it locks into place when you're wheeling it around. But all of this is thanks to our amazing community. It truly transforms my home workouts and has helped me get into the best shape of my life from home in one compact design, smaller than an adjustable bench. Next thing I want to do though is I gathered some questions from our community about the NordBench Pro, and I wanted to answer them rapid fire for you guys so that all your questions are answered and that if you want to upgrade your home gym, you have an informed decision. So I'm just going to get my computer out for this. So what is the size difference between the NordBench Pro and the NordBench Original? Give me a second, I'm gonna go grab one. So this is the NordBench Original. This is the NordBench Pro. You can see it doesn't have the handlebars and that U-shaped base. It's more compact and affordable. It's 33 inches in height, vertically stored. This is 44 inches in height, vertically stored. So a significant side-to-side difference between the two. In its Langman state, that's 59 inches, and this is 47 inches. So you're gonna see a drastic difference in size between the two machines. This one's gonna be bigger, more robust, more durable, more commercial grade, and this is gonna be compact, affordable, and perfect for those who wanna do back extensions, Nordic curls, or are a little bit more space conscious. This has 5-in-1 functionality. This has 9-in-1 functionality with its footplate. And this is still an amazing unit that I use all the time. I bring this with me when I'm treating clients outside of my house. It's easy to throw in the car. It's super strong. It still has that 9-gauge steel in here, not 7-gauge like this to support the dips, but still really robust in nature. I'm gonna take this out of the way. So another question we got is it compatible with the band system? So we do have the hybrid bar and the resistance bands, which it's clearly compatible with, but it also has all the connection ports for the band system. So if you wanted to add that in, do leg extensions or banded back extensions, you can add the band system in. So it is completely compatible with that as well. Is the hybrid bar included? No, it is not. The hybrid bar is something you can add on. It's not something we wanted to force everybody to have. If you want to add that in, and really level up your training, it's perfect. But if you're gonna primarily use this for dips, Nordic curls, back extensions, GHRs, and all the other movements, and you have a barbell, it might not be necessary. So it's an option that you can add in. I personally love using it in my training. It's faster setup than a barbell, and I feel same or similar tension. What is the weight capacity of dips? A lot of people have asked this. I showed you in the video of myself doing dips with 250 pounds. We also dropped 500 pounds on it and let it sit for 24 hours. The max tension the bands can handle, so it's stackable resistance. It's up to 600 pounds of stackable resistance, meaning if you took the top 2 heaviest bands, you would get about 600 pounds. Can it be stored vertically or compactly? Yes, it's still very compact and very easy to store vertically. So this is obviously in full length, but you can just see how easy it is to switch to most compact mode for vertical storage. And then if you were to lay it under a bed, just like the NordBench original, only 8 inches of clearance needed. You just lock it in this position, take the rollers out and lay that flat, and it'll fit under a bed with 8 inches of clearance. How long does assembly take? This was something that over the course of the NordBench original, we've drastically upgraded. It should now take between 10 and 20 minutes, as long as you have 2 adjustable wrenches or a socket set. The only thing you're gonna be doing is attaching the pad and the handlebars onto the main frame, and then connecting the bolt here that connects the 2 core pieces together. It's 11 total bolts, and the fastest time I've set it up is like 7 minutes. So it should take no more than 20 minutes to set up. It's really easy. Is this beginner friendly? Yes, this is perfect for all fitness levels. It has 8 levels of scale. Even dips, you can shorten the length of the dip handle and put your feet on the ground like my wife does as she builds up strength to be able to do dips. Every single feature about this is scalable. The band system has multiple different levels of resistance to accommodate all strength levels. You should not have any challenges finding an exercise you can do with success no matter your ability level. What is the gauge of metal? The center beam is 7 gauge. Throughout the machine, we have different gauges of metal based on how much stress or force you're experiencing. Certain areas have 14 gauge, like these rollers. Certain areas have 7 gauge, some have 9 and 11 gauge steel, just to make sure it's strong enough and durable enough that it'll last a lifetime, and it'll feel the same at use 1000 as it does use 1. A lot of the feedback that we got, a lot of the people that told us we could improve, we wanted to address that. Another question I got is, will I actually use all this? It's a lot and a little overwhelming. That's a question for you, but we are gonna be providing a 10-week transformation program specific to the NordBench Pro. I spent the past few weeks designing that and doing a lot of the workouts myself to make sure that they fit all ability levels. We're also gonna have a band program for the hybrid bar, an additional program for that. We try to make it as easy as possible to have success with our equipment, and we think that this machine does that. Have you seen some of the feedback online, and how have you addressed that? Yes, we have. We are working on improving our shipping times. We just didn't expect there to be this much interest in an affordable back extension and Nordic combo product. It's been a lot to make sure that we constantly improve the product and we don't have any errors while our sales continue to grow. So because of that, we're being cautious with delivery dates for this. This will ship hopefully early to mid-August, but at worst, mid to late August. So I think we're putting on our website the end of August, and we're gonna hope to over deliver on that and send it sooner. That's everything for the NordBench Pro. If you wanna hop on a call and see it live because you're on the fence, let me know. I can send you my personal link, get you on my calendar, and show you a live demo answering any questions that you might have. We can't wait for you to try this out, and we truly believe this is gonna transform home workouts forever. Let us know though what your thoughts are in the comments. And thanks again for being a part of our journey.